Hey guys, Sarah here with Crimson Wool, and I have a new tutorial for you. I am really excited about this one, as always. I do want you to know that I do have a written pattern available. You could find that in the description box below. It will have all of the instructions on how to make this, as well as supplies needed, and then it will have pictures as well. So that will be via my Etsy shop. If you want to go straight to the tutorial, find the timestamps in the description box below so that you could get straight to it. But I do kind of want to share a little bit about this new pattern. So I have been wanting to create a new pattern that will allow for dresses to be placed over the doll, so that you can either do a set where the doll can have a hairstyle, and then all like princess dresses to be interchangeable. But what I will be doing is basically sewing them on. It just looks a lot cuter. So if you want to get a glimpse into one of the dolls that I've already created, please stay till the end of this tutorial so that you can get a sneak peek. But other than that, this is a pretty straightforward tutorial and a pretty straightforward pattern. It is super cute, and she has a smaller neck, and then it just leaves a lot of room for a different variety of dolls. But the main reason I really wanted to make this pattern is because it works up quickly, and then also you could create a whole bunch of these dolls and then start adding any of the details as you see fit. So it's a very obtainable project that you could really, for like holiday seasons or craft fairs, it is easy to bust out all these dolls and then add all of the hair and details such as dresses later. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this tutorial. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the legs. You will make two. It is pretty simple. You're going to start with 6 single crochets in a magic circle. If that is too complicated, you could definitely just do a chain 3, join, and then work in there. So go ahead and pull that. And then that is our first round. I'm going to grab my stitch marker. All right, so now we are going to work rounds 2 through 6, 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So normally I just kind of make the leg and pay attention, but for the sake of the video, I'll go ahead and place a stitch marker. So this is round 2, 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And that's going to give you a total of 6 single crochets. And then after I have completed round 2, what I like to do is tie off. So I tighten that up as best I can. And then while trying to stay really close to the base of the leg itself, I am going to tie 2 knots. And we could go ahead and snip that. So just continue working 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around until you have completed 6 rounds total. So after we've done 2, that will just be 4 more rounds. At this point, what I like to do, instead of having my finger in there, I hold the base of the leg and work around that way. I find that if my finger is inside of the hole, it creates a wider leg. So this just allows me to create just a tighter stitch while working the leg. We're not going to be stuffing this leg, so it's a bit more important to make sure that they are worked with the same tension. So I'll go ahead and move my stitch marker up just so that we can keep track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so now I have made my first leg. I fastened off, and then you want to work up this next leg the same way, but do not fasten off. What we are going to do is we are going to join these legs, but we're going to join them with a chain 2 space. So this is going to create a little gap in between the legs like this. It just looks cute. So to do that, I'm going to tell you how, I'm going to work you through how I do it, but just know, like, it's, as long as you work 15 single crochets evenly and you end with 15 single crochets around, it will be fine. So let me just work you through it for anyone who might have some problems with this. So we're going to start with a chain 2, and then we're going to join to this next leg. All right, when I join, I'm joining with a single crochet, but we're not going to count this as a first stitch. The next stitch into the leg itself will be our first stitch. So that will be 1. Go ahead and place your stitch marker. So we're going to work around the legs, including working on both sides of this chain 2 space and around over here. Technically, that should give us 16 single crochets, but with not counting that first one, it should equal out. If you have to decrease, you can. If you have to increase, you can. It will all work out. It will all work out either way, as long as you don't have any gaps. So we have our first single crochet. So now this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're working over this chain 2, 7, 8, 9. Now we're working into that next leg. We have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. So technically I only worked 1 single crochet into the back side of that chain 2, but I got 15 single crochets evenly. Now I know some of you might be thinking, wouldn't it be easier for counting purposes to just do a chain 1 in between here? But I don't feel like you get as cute as a gap between the legs, so that's why I do the chain 2. I hope I'm not overcomplicating it. I just think it looks cuter that way. But now I have a total of 15 single crochets for round 7. And let me go ahead and have you have a look at that. All right. So we are going to move on to the body portion. All right, so for rounds 8 to 11, we're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. That is going to give you a total of 15 single crochets for each round, and you're going to work a total of 4 rounds. So go ahead and work up those next 4 rounds, and I will meet you back to continue the next round. So we have our legs joined and our body worked up. So we have completed round 11. Round 12, we are going to decrease, and then we'll also start stuffing the body a little bit. So you're going to work 3 single crochets. So I worked my first one, and I'm placing my stitch marker. So that was 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to work a single crochet decrease. So I'm just going to work into the front loop of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's my single crochet decrease. Now we're going to work a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, work another single crochet decrease, and then repeat that again. 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches and a decrease. And that's going to leave you with a total of 12 single crochets for round 12. Now go ahead and grab some of your stuffing, and we're going to push that in. Don't worry about pushing into the legs. You just want to push it into the torso and hip area. Just a little bit right now. We'll push in some more later. So for round 13, you are going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And that's a total of 12 single crochets. So for round 14, we're going to decrease all the way around. So that will be 6 single crochet decreases, and that will leave you with a total of 6 stitches. So as we've done before, we're going to insert our hook into the next 2 stitches, front loop only. So 1 and 2, yarn over, pull up through 2, yarn over, pull up through 2. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. And so just kind of focusing on making this a bit tighter, but you definitely don't want to make it too tight where you can't work into the stitches. So for round 15, we are going to work an increase round. So that will be 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. So our first stitch is right here. So we're going to insert our hook, work a single crochet, and then insert our hook into the same stitch and work another single crochet. That's our increase. Go ahead and place your stitch marker, and then go ahead and continue working 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around. That's going to give you a total of 12 single crochets for round 15. Round 16 will be another increase round. So we're going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch all the way around, and that will give you a total of 24 stitches for round 16. All right, so I have finished round 16, and we should have a total of 24 single crochets. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stuff just a little bit more. So what I like to do is I like to use my scissors to help me for stuffing. So now we're gonna start round 17, and that will be another increase round, the last one, but instead of 2, what we're gonna work is 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 2 single crochets into the next. And that's the pattern repeat, 1 single crochet and then a single crochet increase. And you're gonna work that all the way around, and you'll have a total of 36 stitches for round 17. So I finished round 17, and we have a total of 36 stitches all the way around. So for the next 2 rounds 18 through 19, it will just be 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So for a total of 2 rounds. So go ahead and work up the next 2 rounds. That is rounds 18 through 19, and I'll meet you back here. So I have completed rounds 18 through 19. So we have a nice round head going on here. Let's stuff the neck just a little bit. It's a bit easier to stuff before we continue with the head. So I'm gonna just kind of push in some of the stuffing and turn the body as I do so. And just making sure it's nice and firm, but we definitely don't want to overstuff. I think that's good. So as you can tell here, it is nice and firm, but it's not overly stuffed. So let's go ahead and start round 20. We're going to work 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll work a decrease. And that's going to be the pattern repeat. 4 single crochets. And then a decrease. 2, 3, 4. And so continue that all the way around, and you should have a total of 30 single crochets for round 20. All right, so I completed round 20. As you could tell, doing that decrease round now is starting to shape the head really well. And so for the next 4 rounds, rounds 21 through 24 is just 1 single crochet into each stitch. So go ahead and work your 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and you'll have a total of 30 stitches, and you're going to work a total of 4 rounds. So continue working, and I will meet you back here to start round 25. Okay, so I finished up to round 24, and so I want to place the eyes before I continue. So what I like to do is count up from the base of the neck where we started that first increase round and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So between round 6 and 7, or technically that would be between round 20 and 21. I just find it easier to count. Also, it's super easy because basically we just place the eyes right here where we had decreases. So they're kind of already like marked for us like that. And they just kind of fit perfectly right in between those spaces. And it is, let's count together, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the 5th. So there's 4 stitches, but we put it into the 5th. So that is where I have placed my safety eyes. And then we have our backings. I like to use a hot glue gun to secure my safety eyes. I used to get Darcy eyes and then they discontinued them. So I have been buying them off of Amazon for a while now, especially when you make a lot of dolls. So what I do is I like to place the safety backing onto the eyes. These ones hold more secure this way. Sometimes they're the other way. With like the bigger ones, it's better the other way. So I've pushed those down, and then what I do is I take my hot glue gun and then I place hot glue around the stem of the eye and a little bit onto the eye itself, but not completely over it. You don't want to get a lot of glue on the doll. And let that lay for a few minutes just to make sure that the hot glue is fully dried up, and then we will continue on to round 25. Okay, so I have let the glue dry, and I'm able to touch it now, and so we are going to continue on. I'm not, just a safety precaution, I feel like this holds them securely better, but again, as always, you know, do what the packaging recommends, and I'm pretty sure it's usually not safe for children under the age of 3. Just have to say that. So anyways, I am going to go ahead and start stuffing the head, and then we will work our decrease rounds. So we are going to start round 25 and we are going to work 3 single crochets. Let's move our stitch marker. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we are going to place our stitch marker back and do a decrease round, or a decrease. So the pattern repeat is 3 single crochets and a decrease. So you're going to work that all the way around, and you should have a total of 24 single crochets for the end of round 25. So for round 26, it will be another decrease round. You're going to repeat this 6 times. It will be 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then a decrease. And then just do that as the pattern repeat, 2 single crochets, decrease. And then once you get to the end of the round, you're going to have a total of 18 single crochets. Okay, so we are going to work round 27, then we'll stuff some more. So we are going to work 1 single crochet and then a single crochet decrease. We're going to do that 6 times, and we will have a total of 12 stitches for the end of round 27. So go ahead and work up that pattern repeat, and then I will meet you back at the end of the round and we will start stuffing. So now that we only have 1 more round of decrease, let's start stuffing. What we're going to do is work our last round. This is round 28, and it is just a single crochet decrease all the way around. So we'll do that 6 times. So 1, 2, and as I'm working, I like to push the stuffing down with my finger, 3, so that it doesn't catch on any, 4, 5, and 6. So now we have 6 stitches left, and we will close that off. So what we're going to do is leave about 12 inches of yarn so that we can close that shut. Go ahead and pull through. We can remove our stitch marker. Oops. And then we're going to finish stuffing. All right, perfect. All finished. As you can tell, we're nice and firm, but we are not popping through the stitches or anything. So let's go ahead and close up. So grab your tapestry needle. And then to do this, what we're going to do is basically decrease over these 6 stitches with our tapestry needle. So I'm going to insert and wrap around 2, pull, insert, and so I'm kind of wrapping around that front loop only, like as if we were doing a decrease. And then one more time. So 1, 2. So now we're going to pull this nice and tight, and that gives us a nice clean seam. So if you were going to use this for an animal or something that didn't have hair, like a bunny or a cat, then you got a nice clean seam right there. But I am making this mostly for princess dolls, so the hair will definitely be covering it, but It's nice to have a good clean close off right there. So I'm just gonna weave that through just a couple times. And now we have the body done. So nice and cute. We're gonna work on the arms and then we will be all finished just with this basic body. So what you're gonna wanna make is 2 arms. I'll show you right now, but this is them right here. So you're gonna make 2 the same way. So to get started, we are going to work 5, not 6, but 5 single crochets into a magic circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go in and pull your tail to close off. And that is round 1. Once we get to round 2, then we'll tighten up and cut off our tail end. So for round 2, we are going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You could definitely place a stitch marker like a bobby pin or something like I do, but for the arms, they're tinier, so I try to just keep track by counting. So I am gonna go ahead and tighten up and tie off our tail end. I like to do 2, sometimes 3 knots, just depending on how tight or loose I get them. So that's good, and then we'll cut off just a little bit right there. You don't want to get it too close. So now we're gonna push and make a little cup with the arm, and I kind of like to roll it like this. And so we have made 2 rounds so far, and we're gonna make 4 more, just simply working 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. And so it's 5 stitches total. So I like to hold the arm like this, and this gives me nice tight stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is round 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now moving on to round 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And round 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so as you could tell, this arm is worked up pretty tightly. I like it to have a skinnier arm, but it's simply just 5 single crochets in a magic circle, and then rounds 2 through 6, working a single crochet into each round. So to close off, what we're going to do is pinch the arm shut, and we're going to work a single crochet, so 2 single crochets over this area. So you're going to insert your hook through both sides like this, take the yarn and pull it through, and then yarn over and pull through. So we've done 1, and now we're going to do 1 more that way. And then that is it. So then what I'd like to do at this point is leave a good 12 inches to sew onto the body. You're going to make 2 of those, and then you will have this, and we will be able to sew them on and attach them. So I have my 2 arms. Grab your tapestry needle, and then we're going to attach these to the body. So we're going to do the same thing for each arm. You're going to turn the body to the side. I'm going to place it, lining it up with the leg right here, and then one row, there's a row here beneath the neck, and I'm going to insert right through there. I'm going to push through on one side, kind of skip 1-2 stitches, and pull through out the other side. And then pull tight, holding the leg down in place. I'm going to insert, if I say hook, I'm so sorry, I do it all the time. I'm meaning needle, so you're going to take your needle, insert it through the back side of the arm, pull through like that, and then push your needle back into where your body, where you came through, and pull, and just kind of push it through and pull tight. And that's going to have the arm in place right there. You're going to pull it down just a tad because you don't want it all up in the neck right there. So you're going to hold it down like that. I'm going to insert my needle through the same spot I came out and push it over through to this area right here, making sure you're grabbing some of that arm, and then take your needle and push down into the body like that and pull down. So you see it's not right into the neck, it's just a little below it. And then I'm going to hold it down, insert the needle where it came out, and then come up to the corner right here, and then back into the body like that to attach that side arm. And see how it's nice and clean like that. And then you'll probably have a little bit of gapping right here. If you are making an animal, you could definitely try to be more aware of where you come out through your stitches, but it's going to be covered with a dress. So I'm going to go back and forth, just kind of weaving the end in, and then go ahead and snip, and we will attach the arm on the other side the same way. All right, so we have completed our body, and it is all done and ready to be created into whatever you would like. I really like this body. It's cute. Because of the neck, it allows for us to add a dress, which I think looks super cute. So I would love to show you a little glimpse into some of the tutorials I will be making with this doll body. So here we go. I am so in love. This is just the cutest little doll. I'm gonna, basically what I wanted to do, the whole point of making these dolls was that so that I could create dolls that I could work up and then add the details to. So I can make bulk of these basic doll bodies and then just work on adding the doll details. So in future tutorials, we will be working on the different hairstyles for each doll that we would like to make. I'll go over how to do the eyes, the nose, eyebrows, and of course the dress. I wanted to be able to make the dresses so that they were, you could definitely make it to where you can take them on and off, but I like to attach them. I just think it looks cuter. So it's like the clothes are on them as opposed to made up with the doll. So we will be making lots of tutorials for princess dolls this way. And then also if you do craft shows like myself, this is just a doll that works up quickly. You could just sit down, work up all these dolls, and then add the details as you see fit. And so that was definitely a huge goal for what I wanted to do for these tutorials. So that is that. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I would love to answer them. You can also tag me on Instagram if you make any of these. I always love to see your guys' work. And please hit that like button if you like this video. It really helps me to be able to make more videos for you guys. And then as well as click that subscribe button. That way you can be notified anytime I come out with a new video. And with that being said, thank you so much again for watching this tutorial, and I look forward to crocheting with you again next time.